scheduled meeting, and it's Friday, June the 6th. If I misread something this morning, I just left the eye doctor and they put all this junk in your eyes. And I walked out and they said, well, you got all this yellow stuff, be sure to get it off. So I'm about half seeing this morning, so please bear with me. But welcome, we're happy you're here. The first item on the agenda is to approve the agenda, and we have a request on number 11 to delay the authorization for chairman to sign acknowledgement of memorandum of understanding between the Putnam Development Authority and Harmony Road, Georgia LLC. The reason for that, the chairman, Walt Rocker Jr., is away with his son in a shotgun shooting contest. I think Ford is really good at that. And we were going to go ahead as of yesterday, and the attorney came down with something, and so Kevin Brown couldn't be with us this morning. So they've asked us if we could delay that until they can get things further going. But could I have a motion to that effect, to remove item number 11 and delay it?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second to delay the authorization for the chairman to remove that and schedule that at a later date. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, you know, the fact that Mr. Brown and Mr. Rocker are not here has little to do with whether we approve this signature or not. I'm not sure that we shouldn't just eliminate this or table it indefinitely.
I have a motion and a second. Are you making an alternate motion to that?
I would move that we table item number 11 indefinitely.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
Is there discussion, further discussion? We're voting on the amended, that is to delay 11 indefinitely.
So
Commissioner?
just to clarify, when we say indefinitely, meaning never offering a view on it officially?
That's correct.
Well, I prefer that we did offer a view one way or the other, rather than leave it ambiguous.
Well, I mean, we can discuss this issue, but the motion to authorize the chairman to sign this should never come back again. I mean, if you want to put on a discussion of the Helms Farm project, that's fine. But the signature of the chairman on the MOU, I just don't think that we should have to deal with it again. We've already declined the signature twice, and it's apparent to me that the Putnam Development Authority does not need our blessing. They can act on their own as far as the tax abatement is concerned. We've been through this before. And there is really no need to, I mean, we can discuss the project, but as far as the tax abatement is concerned, that's strictly up to the Putnam Development Authority to make that decision and take responsibility for it. I don't think that this board ought to be endorsing as a board and taking partial responsibility for a project that is strictly in the hands of the Putnam Development Authority.
Commissioner Wooten?
I just wanted to clarify something. When I seconded that motion indefinitely, I was under the impression that until everybody could get together, because if we schedule this thing like the next meeting and then the next meeting and then the next meeting, and we just can't ever, we keep putting it off, until we can get something definite with both sides. That's what I was thinking, that when he said indefinitely. So Do I need to rescind my second?
No, we're going to vote. We have,
Okay.
and we're
All right.
discussing,
Can't
so,
rescind a second.
Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Garrett.
I do agree with Commissioner Hersey that there is some ambiguity about process here and authority here. As he says, why does the PDA need or want the commissioners to acknowledge, that's the word, it's not endorse or approve, it's simply acknowledge, but what does acknowledge mean? Is it tantamount to approval? Is it something else? I agree, my understanding is that the PDA are free to institute a tax abatement. They have that independent authority going back to 1968 when they were founded. As far as I understand it, they don't need our acknowledgement, let alone approval, but I can understand why they want some consensus around doing such a major step as this. So what if I can make another motion.
Well, we got a motion.
Well, we
and
got a motion
second.
on the floor. Well, we got two motions. How many motions have we got? What are we doing?
Can we deal with this one and then, because we still have the main motion,
Right.
then. okay,
Mr. Chairman,
let's-
if I could, so I understand the motion, at least the vocabulary we've attached to the motion, but under your ordinances, when you set agendas as members of the commission, you can bring items back before the commission. So using the term of art, even if a motion can't restrict the ordinances unless you change the ordinances. So indefinite, forever, that would, in order to effectuate that, you'd have to go into 2-37 and change how you put items on the agenda. So I wouldn't be too caught up on the vocabulary of the motion. And the only thing I would say to Commissioner Garrett's point is the proposal that has come before the Board of Commissioners presently does not require approval. They could come back with a different form of that proposed structure that would require. We just don't know. So I guess you're correct at this point. I don't think it's ever been presented in a way that would require the Board of Commissioners to approve it, but there could be changes to the financing structure that do. So I take the point that the the PDA was attempting to get political approval, but there may be a time in the future when it comes back that the Board of Commissioners would have to sign off on that structure. It just depends. But to the question before the body, feel free to take your motion however you'd like to. Next meeting, any commissioner, as long as they 4 days, business days in advance of the agenda, can put whatever item they want to on the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, just for the elucidation of the gentleman from the second district, the MOU does in fact use the words acknowledge and approve, the wording in the MOU. So we would be not only acknowledging but approving the tax abatement as specified in the MOU.
Hey, I believe, are we ready to vote on we're voting on Mr. Hersey, or Commissioner Hersey's motion, and that is to,
Motion is to table the,
not table, you didn't say table, you said approve that, we're to approve the agenda here. We're trying to, you want to do away with the item, period. When that's right. Go ahead.
my motion was to table indefinitely item number 11.
So we're getting deep into Robert's Rules of Procedure here, but you don't have an agenda yet. So if you're going to table it, we'd have to have the agenda and then table. I think the first motion was approval of the agenda with 11 removed. But I think Commissioner Hersey's motion was to include further language on that. So it's not table, it's banishment of the item. That's
Right.
the way maybe I would describe it. Those are my
So
terms.
as I understand it, then the motion on the floor is to strike item number 11.
Correct. From the proposed agenda.
Where are we?
We're on your motion.
What is my motion?
Yours is to table number 11 indefinitely.
But I can't do that.
Well, we have to vote on it. And then we'll come back to the original motion.
Commissioner Hersey, you could withdraw your amended motion.
You can withdraw that.
Once the motion is read by the chair, it belongs to the body, so we would
That's
have to
correct.
vote
But,
to
but they could
remove it.
consent to its withdrawal if the rest of the members
That's
do.
correct.
So the first item on the, in order would be to vote on my withdrawal of the
Correct.
motion.
But if we do it by unanimous consent and nobody objects, we can move without a vote.
But our ordinance says we have to have 3 affirmative votes to pass anything.
That's right. So I'll call
Can
for
we
the
have
question.
have a motion to rescind my motion?
So moved.
We have a motion on the floor to rescind Commissioner, motion. I'll get it out, Commissioner Hersey's motion. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Richard seconded.
I think I moved it.
Tom made the motion.
No,
I mean, sorry, Richard made the
motion.
motion to rescind, and Commissioner McElhaney seconded. And do we need any further discussion? Having none, we'll call for the question and vote. All in favor of rescinding, say aye, starting.
Aye.
Aye.
We have consensus to withdraw that motion. Now then, the motion on the floor in the second was to remove item number 11 from the agenda and then be rescheduled at a later date. And we didn't say what that date was. Correct?
Right.
Right. Well, no, I'm going to approve the agenda after. We're going to remove this and then approve the agenda. Can I do all at one? Okay, that was the motion. So this will be to approve the agenda by removing item number 11. Okay? We're ready to vote? Vote electronically. I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to speak, and voting is complete. Districts 1, 2, 3, and 4 vote aye. The agenda is approved, and thank you, gentlemen. Next on the order of is our invocation, and I'm very, very happy to have our pastor, Dr. Craig Williamson, with us from the First Baptist Church. So, Craig, if you could come forward and deliver our invocation, we'd appreciate that.
Would you join me as we pray together? Oh God, in the mid-morning hour, we come to you grateful for this day that has been given to us, grateful for your awakening within us. And we pray now in this day that the work of our hands and hearts might be pleasing to you and bring honor to all of creation. We come before you grateful for the calling upon our lives that leads us to engage in such opportunities to serve in our community. And at the same time, we come humbly asking for your guidance and your wisdom as we gather as both leaders and citizens and participants together for the common good, that we might gather with guidance and wisdom from you and from the way you have created us and intended us to be. We pray particularly that you would grant each of our leaders the discernment and integrity in every decision and discussion, that you would help them and all of us together to listen, and to listen with empathy, to speak with clarity and kindness, truthfulness, to act with what we seek to be fairness. Might we be good stewards of the trust that has been placed in us from you to take this particular place where we now live and live it in ways that brings justice and unity and the well-being of all. We trust your blessing upon us, upon our leaders, upon one another. And may peace, cooperation, and love reign in our spaces today. In the name of Christ I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Craig. Next, and boy, I'm excited about this. Our Pledge of Allegiance this morning is going to be led by Reese Miller. Reese, if you would come forward to the microphone there, and Stephanie, if you could help her. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty, justice for all.
Thank you, Reese. Item number 5 is a special presentation, a retirement proclamation for Alan Carlton McMichael. So let's see, Paul, will you read that? And we need to have, commissioners, let's go down front. Is Mr. McMichael here? Come forward, please. And does he have a supervisor that's here?
The sheriff. Howard's here.
Howard, would you come forward too, please? There we go. And guys, come, let's go down front.
Whereas Mr. McMichael began his 25-year career in corrections in 2000, and when he was first employed by the Department of Corrections, and whereas Mr. McMichael joined Putnam County Sheriff's Office on June 16, 2008, whereas Mr. McMichael was promoted to sergeant on October 6, 2016, and whereas Mr. McMichael has provided the citizens of Putnam County with 17 years of faithful service, and his immense knowledge will be sorely missed by the Putnam County Sheriff's Office. And whereas the Board of Commissioners of Putnam County are proud of Mr. McMichael's accomplishments and the way he has represented Putnam County over the years. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Board of Commissioners of Putnam County does hereby congratulate Mr. McMichael on his retirement from Putnam County, proclaimed the 6th day of June, 2025. Signed, Chairman Sharp, Commissioner McElhenney, Commissioner Garrett, Commissioner Hershey, Commissioner Wooten.
I just want to thank God for getting me through this, my family for showing up and supporting me, and thank Putnam County. And I really want to thank this man, Sheriff Howard Taylor, for going out. My 39 years of being sheriff, he is the only example of nepotism I have at the sheriff's office. We have the same great grandfather.
I know retirement is certainly a special time, and we appreciate all of our retirees. Moving along, the next item on our regular business meeting is public comments. We have 4 people signed in. We'll go in order of the folks that have signed in. You have 3 minutes. The first is John Fox. John? And you can correct that microphone a little bit to fit you. Reese, we had it down for Reese.
I'm John Fox. I'm president of the Sugar Creek Farms POA. We got 30 properties along Sugar Creek Trail, along Lake Oconee. And we talked to Mr. Hersey about, gee, we need repaving. We got a little rough going through there with a golf cart, almost impossible with a bicycle. We want to get on the agenda, or on the budget, for some repaving. Sugar Creek Trail is 1.1 mile long. We have photos too to share it. We can email.
So if I understand it, you're just requesting Sugar Creek Trail to be paved, and it's 1.1 miles.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give free golf cart rides if you got your fillings tight. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the list is Jennifer Ray.
Lynn, are you going to put my pictures up? You're the best, thank you. Wait until I was waiting for my pictures, okay. Lynn's going to be putting up pictures shortly. I have a couple of them that I sent in. I'd like to bring to your attention an urgent safety issue on Bluegill Road, particularly for those coming from South Brem Court. A previously installed mirror was in place to enhance visibility around a large hill. However, it was damaged and displaced during a tree that fell during a storm this past winter. I've contacted Public Works, and they have stated that they will not install a new mirror unless directed to do so by our county manager or commissioner. This road falls within the area overseen by Commissioner Wooten. Public Works believes they did not install the original mirror. However, there is precedent for such mirrors in this district, as evident by a similar installation on Bagley Road. This hill is particularly dangerous, especially since a school bus stops there to pick up several children that live on that road. Regardless of who initially installed the mirror, it is situated on the county right-of-way and needs to be replaced. The cost of a new mirror in brackets is less than $200. Ask yourself, what is a person's life worth? We must consider the importance of safety, and I hope you'll prioritize addressing this serious safety issue that has been brought to your attention today. And did you get the picture? Did we flip through it where it shows we're up close where it's broken right there? It's kind of, and that hill has got very little visibility when you pull out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next on the list is Billy Webster. Billy?
Chairman, Commissioners, staff, thank you for this opportunity. Today I'm going to speak on behalf of a elderly lady by the name of Iona Foster. That's spelled I-O-N-E Foster. She has some issues with some things that's taken place on her right-of-way. And she indicated to me, and we have a history, I go back a long way with her. And to give you an idea of what we're talking about, she lives on the lakeside directly across from where Ward's Chapel runs into Old Phoenix. So in other words, if you're coming down Ward's Chapel and you continue across Old Phoenix, you'll go right into her driveway. She's had numerous times people have taken advantage of her driveway. The latest is that she is concerned, and by the way, she really takes care of the right-of-way. She almost treats her right-of-way like it's her own. And when the county comes in and does something, she feels like it is messing with her landscaping. One example was Tri-County she has a tree that the power line goes through and they have to come out periodically to trim it. And in doing so, they ran over and broke her irrigation system that was using to irrigate the plants around that tree. And basically Tri-County blew her off. Secondly, there was an accident there, and in order to keep traffic moving, they needed to use her driveway to get around the wreckage while they were clearing it. And they did some damage to her landscaping. Granted, it was still on the right-of-way, but she considered that her property to maintain. And the latest, of course, is when they paved Old Phoenix and they came in and put down the red mud, that basically covered over part of her landscaping. She indicates to me that she's made numerous phone calls basically getting the brush off. Now, I don't know that for a fact, that that's what she feels like has happened to her. So I have her telephone number. I won't give it in public, but if the commissioner and maybe the staff could give her a call and give her a little bit more than just a pat on the back, it would be highly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the list is Bill Vargo. Bill? And Bill has passed. So that is all of the public comments today. And there will be other people signed up on the regular meeting, and I'll have to go through that in a second. Next on the agenda is the consent agenda. I believe there is 5 or 6 items here. One, approval of minutes from May 20th, 2025 regular business meeting. Approval of minutes May 20th, executive session. Approval of minutes May 23rd, the call meeting. Approval of minutes May 23rd, executive session. E is approval of the 2025 alcohol license. And let's see, how many, do we have that so we can say how many there were? 2, I believe. That's what I think I read. There's 2 alcohol license, and I think both of those are just renewals. And the final is authorization for the chairman to sign the ACCG Group Self-Insurance Workers Compensation Fund, the Employee Safety Grant application. So it's for applying for a safety grant for that. Those are the items. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second on the floor. Is there further discussion of any of those items? Hearing none, we'll call for the question, and you may vote electronically. Voting is complete. Districts 1, 2, 3, and 4 vote aye. The consent agenda has now been approved. Item number 8 is paving update. And Paul, could you update us on the paving?
Yes, sir. So May has been a very rainy month and has delayed a lot of our current paving projects. The most updated list for June was recently posted on social media. So that being said, there are several other paving projects that are lined up behind what we're currently doing. And as you remember, to just kind of explain why paving takes so long, the projects we're working on today were initially approved in 2021. Thereby, it delayed receiving the funds. Just figure out if we get $4 or $5 million a year, you got to wait 1 full year to get $4 or $5 million. The second year you get 8 to 10, third year, and so on. The problem was we decided to go to the bond market. We got a really good rate. We collected $1 million more from the bank, and now we're starting these projects. Just understand that next year we will be talking about T-SPLOST number 3 projects, and that's a fine opportunity to get these roads that you're concerned about on the list. Those projects can then be budgeted, paid for. You can bond the money, you can do one district a year with the amount of money you collect, or a myriad of options. But the process is inherently long. Going over 76 miles of road in the initial bid required engineering time to assess each road, come up with a strategy and a game plan to repair it, modify it in the field if there's a problem. And I say that because I understand folks are frustrated with Harmony Road at the moment. Harmony Road was deemed in worse shape the closer we got to 441 than was initially thought. So that road is going to be done with the LithTech product, and we're hopefully going to widen that road a foot on each side. So that should help some of the traffic flow out there. But again, these are old roads. We find surprises all the time. I get them every time it rains. The folks on Sunfish and Julep, that's probably just a few inches of asphalt over dirt. Roads were never meant to be constructed like that. They will inherently fail. So just to share what's on there, you know the commissioners just approved the LMIG 2025 list with Denham Road, Old Copeland, Quail Knoll, Carter Dearman, Lakeview Estates, Lakeview Lane, Martin Oaks, Lakeview Drive, Willow Forest, Willow Trace, Bark Circle, Shoreline, and Cold Branch. So those roads are already in engineering and getting through contracts with our engineer. To further talk about some more stuff that is not straight up paving but is road related, The guardrail on Parks Mill, 14 or 1,500 feet, has collapsed inward. So all those years where you see pressure-treated lumber holding up the guardrails that were done kind of as a matter of rule back in the 80s and 90s, those have all catastrophically failed. We're in the process of getting bids to replace that. Little Circle is another road that was inherently bad, and we're going to use a new material. Recently, Mahaffey Drive was deeded to the county. The county is in an arrangement with Schaefer Properties for Schaefer to pay for the road. And then finally, West River Bend is a road that has failed just in the last storm. The engineering design for that is going to call for that road to be raised several feet, which is going to be increasingly expensive to get the grade, the taper, the slope, and the new culvert system in. So please understand, yes, we do hear what you're saying. We do take these safety complaints very serious, and we will try to get to them. The last project we have is an intersection project at Ward's Chapel and Collis Road. That was agreed to several years ago. The agreement has lapsed. So if that project comes back, that's on the horizon. We had drawings made thinking it was as our part of the contract. When they got permits and everything, we thought it was going to move forward. But it appears stalled at the moment, but it's not dead. It will be coming back. The hotel project is still on track to be finished, and the Marriott is still the customer going to build the hotel. So that being said, that's kind of the latest and greatest overview of where we're at. Yes, it's busy. I wish it would stop raining for at least 30 days so we could have a chance to work with dry dirt and get stuff done, but we are just at the whim of Mother Nature right now, and we are losing ground. And we're going to do the best we can. Fraser, Taylor, Randy, and their team are out there every day doing ditch pipes. Can't move mud, so we got to have some dry dirt to get in there and dig the holes that are required. So I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions, gentlemen? Commissioner Hersey?
Paul, we recently spent about $300,000 to get an asphalt paver. Has that been used? Has the Public Works paved any roads?
We used it when we rented it. So yeah, we've used it, yes, sir, but not since we officially own it. We bought the rental we had used.
Are there any plans to have Public Works pave short sections of road?
Yes. So I will tell you that Works crew ideally will do work in May and June, August and September. With the amount of ditch work we have, that's been delayed. We just don't have good weather to work. But yes, we will do them, and we will identify, and I'm going to call it user-friendly or rookie roads. Give me a half mile, something easy that's manageable that we can figure out X number of trucks in, X number of trucks out. But yes, we will be using it. But right now, we're just so far behind the eight ball with the storms we've had that it's just brutal. But Mr. Neal's here, and he understands, Miss Rindy's here, that they will be paving roads just as time allows and just as weather cooperates.
Could you provide this commission a list of sort of priorities for in-house paving?
So right now, we've only agreed to look at Anchor's Point just to see how we do. That's a very simple one, I think. So once I can develop a timeline, materials list of what a half-mile road is going to take. Is it going to take $100,000 worth of asphalt, 12 hours, 2 days, whatever? So then I can kind of forecast what I'm going to do better, knowing that these guys get faster as they go.
I've had a request, and I can't honestly remember the name of the road, but if it's a short stretch of road over by Lakeside that has never been paved, and I think we've discussed it before. I don't know what the status on that is.
I'm hoping these folks become cul-de-sac warriors. We can go in and out these cul-de-sacs one time and be done for 20 years. So that's kind of the goal.
This is a loop road, but that's.
So.
Let me speak to you after
Certainly.
about that.
Commissioner Garrett?
Paul, thanks for the update. I just want to make sure I understand. So are you saying that aside from what you were just referencing, which I'll come back to in a second, T+2 money is all allocated already?
When the bids come back, I'll have a better idea where we stand.
Okay, but so there might be some marginal dollars available from that source?
Correct, but it's
Okay.
pretty slim at the moment until I see some real numbers come back.
Okay, and then LMEG is an annual fund,
Yes.
so there will be,
That comes
Next-
every year. You all
right.
get about a mile of road to figure out what you want to play with.
right, and that's to be allocated next
Correct.
year, say?
Correct.
Okay, and then final question, these, it's great to hear there's some scope with our in-house machinery to tackle some of these short, simple projects, but where is that money coming from? Just general fund?
Hopefully the same place that T-SPLOS 2 comes from. So, and just so you know, I mean, T-SPLOS 2 ends next year.
Right.
Next year, we're going to be talking about T-SPLOS 3. And folks had asked in, I forget, one of the correspondents about why there was no road money in SPLOS 10's discussion. That's all going to go to T-SPLOS. And the reason is y'all will be directly involved in allocating dollars for cul-de-sacs or small roads for in-house paving, and you will be allocating money for contractors on big projects. So that gives you total control. And honestly, after SPLOS 9 failed, I don't want to risk not having any money to do roads. We can't afford not to do them, and we can't afford not to stop. So this gives you 100% control over where each dollar goes. And if you want each district to get 10 miles of in-house paving, $200,000 a mile, miscellaneous equipment, we can figure that out. So
But the funding is T+3?
that would be T-SPLOS 3, and you're going to vote on that probably next year, and you won't receive money till the year after before you can start doing anything. So it just kind of snowballs of, we don't wake up the morning after the vote and have $25 million.
Right.
Over
No, I
6
I
years,
understand.
you build this bridge or this pyramid one block at a time, and you have done an amazing job as the Board of Commissioners for the last 10 years of 5 years ago, or T-SPLOS 1, we did 100 miles. Right now, we got 75, 76 on the books. We got 12 here, some other miscellaneous stuff. So you're going to be close to 100 miles. I mean, and I'll say approximately, I don't want folks to live or die saying, oh, you only got 96 miles when you said 100, but it's an estimate right now. And we're trying to figure out whenever we get money left, that's when these other projects will stand up and we'll be doing, okay, we can do this in-house or we have to contract out. We can make those decisions once we see how much money's left.
Okay, that's what I was trying to clarify. So yeah, medium term, T+3, it sounds great, but what you're saying is where there's marginal dollars left over from T+2, LMEG, that's how we can tackle these short one-offs. Okay, thank you.
Other questions? That was my question. Okay, so here's the question. Hearing none, we will move along, and we're moving down to item number 9. This is a report from Jimmy Davis Park Partnership Advisory Council. We have one person signed in to speak to that. So Karen Garrett, if you could come forward. Karen, I know you're here. I saw you.
Morning. Have I got that right? Yeah. Yes, talking about Jimmy Davis Park again, but very happy to see that it does look in the way that we had hoped it would look from 3 years ago, where we started this whole thing and marched and wrote letters and attended meetings. It took the 3 years to get it here, but at least it has gotten here, and very happy to see that we've got I wish I'd had some pictures, but you will see, and I hope that you're going to the park to see what it looks like now, because it's a definite improvement. And a lot of that work has been done by the community. So maybe we could stop that conversation as well, where it's been said so many times, oh, if we put this in there, they're going to damage it, or they're going to vandalize it. They're not going to vandalize it. It's their park. If you give them the ownership of that to say, this is yours, it's like you wouldn't invite somebody into your house and expect them to damage that. You would take care of it. We've talked to many people, talked to people just last week, to say, and they are really proud that this park is back. So they will take care of it. And I think that that's an important piece of this, to say, invite the community to see what they have to say, to hear their thoughts, to understand what it is that they would like to see. I know that the hours now are being improved and being extended, and again, that's a conversation that we've had with a lot of people. What I'd like to see next is how the building will be used for the community, that there can be after-school projects, whether it can be used for lessons, whether it can be used for cooking classes, electrician classes. There are plenty of people out there who have those skills and are happy to do that as something that they would do for the community again. I think, well, talk to Tweedy, and he's really great and very invested in this all happening. So I think that if we can have those conversations again, where the community feels that we are part of it, or they are part of it, talk to them. Find out what it is that they want to do. Even if it's a questionnaire or something, to say, let us know what it is that you want to hear, what you want to see done, where do you come and who do you speak to with the Jimmy Davis Commission thing that's going on. Do they get a chance to speak? They should be able to stand up there and say, okay, this is what we're happy with, this is what we'd like to see improved still, there are things still to be done. So thank you for at least getting us to where we are now. I do believe that there are still more that can be done, but we're on it and they're on it. So don't disregard them as though the community is not invested. They really are. And I think that that's probably all I need to say. Is that right?
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Now then, that's the only one signed in to talk about number 9. So, Janie, are you here? There you are. You're camouflaged over there.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
I am here to make a report on the activities of the Jimmy Davis Park Partnership Advisory Committee. I think if you look through your agenda, you do have a report already. I don't think we need to go through that unless you want me to go back through it line by line. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer that. But in addition to the 3-page report that you had in the agenda for everybody to see, I do have an addition or addendum to that report that I would like to report on. Before I move forward with that, are there any questions in the on the report that I submitted to you earlier? Or would you like for me to go through it?
I have a real quick question.
Sure.
And how are the extended hours that we just published working? I know we need more time and more people, but how are they working?
More time, more people, and more resources. But all in all, everything is going well, extremely well. The committee is very pleased, as well as the community. So all in all, everything is going well. But what I was asking, sir, you do have a report that was in your agenda package. Do you have any questions on that, or do you want me to go back through that one?
I thought it was fine. Yeah, Commissioner Garrett.
And maybe this is what you're going to talk about, I don't know, but I was curious if you or Paul had an update on the new sign at the park that had been ordered.
That is part of my additional report, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, since there are no questions on the report that I sent out, then I'm going to move to the addendum, or what I would like to. I did not add in this original report. As I stated in the original report that I sent to you, we have met 3 times since we last came before you. And again, we were pleased to report that operations continue to go well. We're sincerely grateful for your continued support. The support of commissioners have been very, very good, very pleasing, and we're excited about that. We want to extend our special appreciation to Scott Haley, the Recreation Director. I mean, he's very responsive to our requests, and he's a very greatly valued member of the county staff as far as recreation is concerned. The facility manager, Tweety Palm, he remains consistent and dependent in carrying out his duties. And, you know, we do want to thank you for hiring additional staff. I was unaware of the application, didn't know anything about you was going to hire this young man, but I know Jeremiah Bullard very, very well personally, and I can attest to his work ethic. I can tell you that the community is equally excited about his hiring as they were when you all hired Tweety Palm. I mean, you could not find no better two people than you have at Jimmy Davis Park right now. And they're very effective and they're very dedicated. As far as building uses and community collaborations are concerned, and that's a big part of what the county manager talked to me about, and the former commissioner, D2 commissioner, one of the former D2 commissioners talked to me about when this committee was put together, and that is partnerships and community collaborations. In the mission statement that you gave us, that the county manager gave me, it talked about healthy initiatives as well as health as a whole. So with that being said, we are currently, or the park is currently collaborating with two agencies, both of which are making a meaningful impact in our community. Beyond the Bell is one of those. Beyond the Bell is an organization based in Macon. I've known these folks for years and years, and they have received funding from the Development of Health to support youth and families in the prevention of alcohol, marijuana, and tobacco use. Beyond the Bell also has a partnership with the City of Eaton Senior Program. And recent activities have included a trip to the Edmund Pettus Bridge, where they took the seniors, and they've had a health fair at Jimmy Davis Park. Recently, I was called and told that Beyond the Bell received a $40,000 grant for Putnam County to help with opioid education and prevention. This money, this whole $40,000, which I found out in April, will have to be spent by September 2025, just a few months. I know I said the whole $40,000. It don't take much to spend it. I get that. There was a stakeholder focus meeting that was held that included sheriff, the police chief, fire and health personnel, and community leaders. At that particular meeting, what they've done with some of the money, $16,000 has been spent on billboards in the community, just 2 billboards. Those 2 billboards are going to stay up the whole year, and it's talk about opioid awareness billboards. 3 scheduled town hall meetings are being scheduled. One is going to be held June 17th at the courthouse, one on July 15th at God of Peace Church, and one on August 19th at Jimmy Davis Park. There will also be an event the climaxing event will be held September 19th at Eaton City Stage, and a final report meeting is scheduled for September 25th, where we will have to compile all the information and send it back to the State Department in the hopes we'll be able to get some more money. All of this is coming out of Jimmy Davis because it's one of the health initiatives for the community. Another partnership that we have is Oconee Behavioral Health Center. I think you all know, I think it was mentioned before, that they meet every Tuesday. They're holding health and wellness sessions every Tuesday at Jimmy Davis Park. This is, again, grant funded, and it's supported by the Morehouse School of Medicine. Recently, what they've doing are monthly Narcan training sessions. They're held on the first Tuesday each month, and it's open to any agency, organization, or individual who want to go. They hold weekly peer support groups, and they've held an officer Narcan training. This was done after meeting and sitting down talking with our Eaton Police Chief. 7 officers were trained to administer Narcan at no cost. Inclusive Play Equipment Initiative. I've also met with the territory manager of Game Time. The reason I met with him, he reached out to me, did not know who he was, but we met for more than an hour and talked about inclusive play equipment. That is something that the public is really asking for. It is something that we wrote about or we included in the 5-year plan. And it is that I think it would be a game changer if we could find the perfect piece of equipment for those particular residents who are somewhat challenged and who cannot participate and play on the other equipment, just like our other boys and girls in the area. The school has some of this equipment. Other playgrounds throughout the Middle Georgia area that I know about, they have this equipment. And I met with this young man. They offer a lot of different equipment. I am looking at several. Then I'm going to take, at our next meeting, which is June 10th, of the partnership, I will take what I've looked at and present it to the advisory board so that they will say, okay, we like this or we like that, and then we will bring a formal presentation back to you guys. And the game time manager, regional manager, said that he would be more than willing to come and talk with you guys about it as well. We want to thank the Beta Club for planting flowers at the park. It looks real good over there. And I know that I know that the county manager had a lot to do with that, and we really appreciate it, as well as Scott and Tweety. Also, upcoming cultural recognition, or the sign, if you will. We met, did I give you a copy of that, Mercer, to make a copy? Was it the sign? Just pass it to the commissioners, please. You can do both, that meeting, town hall meeting that I mentioned, and the sign. I'm sure this is what you asked about, Commissioner Garrett. There's no sign? Oh, those are the hours. I may have 1 or 2 copies. Give me a second, please. I do.
Thank you.
What you're looking at is a copy of a post sign that was sent to me about the county manager asking me to, at a meeting with the advisory board, to see if they were approved this particular sign to be placed at Jimmy Davis Park. This particular sign is about recognizing the Brown Bombers, who I told you was a very historic local baseball team many, many years ago. And it's done in an effort to preserve and honor their legacy throughout the community. I am preparing a written report because there have been some questions, all questions that can be answered, and questions that, I have no problem with the questions, but I would definitely put them in a written format so that everybody would know as to who, what, when, and why about these Brown Bombers, and why we should not let our history die. Okay?
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Questions, gentlemen? Commissioner Garrett, I believe.
Councilwoman, I'm delighted to hear that documentation is underway. I understand there's increasing amount of available material out there, and it sounds like we can document it in the manner that's appropriate.
We will do it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner Wooten?
The sign looks great. Thank you for designing it the way it was, and the way it is. Would it, and this is just my thoughts, the original team, is there any way to put the original team names on there?
That question came up at the meeting. As a matter of fact, there was quite a bit of conversation about that, but no, I don't think so. What we were hoping to do, and at that same meeting, we sort of did a motion and agreed to send back to you guys to consider placing some type of marker on the field that would include their names and a bit of the history. I know markers cost. I'm very conscious of, I guess because I've been in this business for a while, I know what things cost, and I know what you have to go through to get it done. And it may not be a marker per se, or a, whatever you call those, for, I can't
kind of like a
remember
plaque.
that. Yeah, but what I'm thinking, yes, I didn't say yeah, yes. But what I'm thinking is that perhaps a bench or something in their honor, something with their names on it. I have a list of names. From what I understand, there's the Brown Bombers were the main one. Out of the Brown Bombers grew the Sluggers, but the Brown Bombers and the Sluggers, some of them are one and the same.
Okay. Thank you.
And just to clarify, because I had the same question, Commissioner Wooten, and to my mind, if we're going to signal on the main park sign outside that this is the home of the Brown Bombers, it would be ideal for people who are curious, not quite sure who they are, want some more information, to have some sort of information at the park. So my hope is that that's what we can get to with the research.
That's exactly what we discussed
Right, exactly.
at that meeting that you were.
Exactly.
That's where, I reckon that's where I'm coming from, the older families, and, you know, to show and give our children, and to where their people, or where their relatives and everything, what they paid, and that they played here. And it's kind of like I don't know, I'm trying to think, an honor to be kin to the people that started this.
I have not really discussed what type of event we will have, or we would like to have when we are doing this dedication. But I would like for it to be, our thinking is there will be something huge, something the community will definitely come and attend, where we'll be able to tell the history and show some of it, and something that the people will be proud of for years to come. Some of these particular people who lived, as I told you before, there is one person who's still living. He's 100 years old, be 101 this year, or 102 maybe. And he's the only one left. He's the only World War II veteran that's from the black community that's left. I don't know whether we'll be able to get it before, before nature takes its course. But we want this to be something that every member of these particular families would be proud of, and they will be able to show it off. That's what we're looking for.
I agree.
Okay.
Thank you. Commissioner McElhaney has a
Yes,
question.
thank you, Janie. Great report. I appreciate the written thing. I read through it.
Thank you.
Appreciate what your group is doing over there, and I agree with you. We should not let our history die.
Thank you.
I like this sign. Hopefully, we can have it lit. I'd love for it to be lighted as well.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
All other questions? Hearing none, Janie, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I like the sign too.
Thank
And
you.
that goes along with other signs that we're doing in the county.
Oh, yeah, and that reminds me, the recreation director has also put signs up as to when the park is open, when the park is closed. There've been a lot of people who say they didn't know or couldn't tell, but the signs are up now, along with the hours, also other rules and regulations that we must have. And it's before anyone say anything about the rules or why we doing this or why we doing that, the rules at Jimmy Davis Park mirror the rules at the main recreation center. One and the same. I made sure that they, in talking with them, that this would be the way it's going to go.
Well, I'm certainly proud of the way things have gone. It's been slow. We said that up front. And it was the elephant in the room here 2 years ago. And I think we're dealing with it beautifully. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Moving now to item number 10. And item 10 is discussion and possible action on nomination for the 2 additional members of the Jimmy Davis Park Partnership Advisory Council. And before we start, we have Karen Garrett has already spoke, I believe, and Annette Bullard. Is Annette here? Annette, you are on to speak about item number 10 from the sign-up sheet.
Good morning. Thank you all for allowing me to come up and talk to you all, Commission. We're proud of Mr. Gary and what he's doing for the district. Also, on behalf of what Ms. Jenny Reed just stated about speaking, we're asking that, I know you all have a policy where people come right now and speak. We're asking that we should be able to come after the meeting over at the advisory committee to meet so people can come in and speak on their point of view and giving some point about what they can do to improve the advisory or improve the recreation department. So if you all would allow Mr. Garrett, who's in the district, to handle and run his commission, his district in the way he should do, since he's now the new boss of the district number 2, and over the advisory board. One thing we asking for that we should be able to voice our opinion as taxpayer people in Putnam County. We are taxpayers. When we had her in there, we couldn't get what we get now. No one came to us to tell about what was going on in the district. We had to come up here and talk to you all about Jimmy David Park. But since we have advisory board and they're doing a good job, but we ought to be able to talk about what we need in the community as a taxpayer and what we can do to help Jimmy David Park. Y'all understand? So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Now, moving along with item number 10, Commissioner Garrett, would you like to discuss your potential two members and ask for votes?
Yes. So I've been pleased at how the Jimmy Davis Park Partnership Advisory Council, to give it its full and official name, has been going. It was set up initially for 1 year. This body renewed it for another year back in March. I think it is providing helpful input to the park's revival. And to Ms. Bullard's point, my goal, and I think the chairperson, Janie Reed, agrees, that we do want to allow public comment, and we did in the last meeting allow public comment. And my goal, certainly from next week's meeting going forward, is to make that a formal part of proceedings. This is about spending taxpayer dollars, and we want taxpayers to have access and the chance to comment and be heard. So I think everyone agrees on that. That's certainly my intention going forward. So in that spirit, it struck me that while we have a dedicated membership of the advisory board, you see the names listed in the packet, it struck me we didn't have any youth represented. And clearly, youth are a big part of what makes a park great, why parks are important. So I asked around, thought about who might be two people I could nominate. So these are additional members, not replacing anybody. And I came up with these two names that you see in the packet. Keely Reed, who grew up in the area and is involved in a number of community issues in that part of the county. And when I approached her, she was very enthusiastic, and I think she'll be vocal, she'll speak up, she'll have the park's best interest in mind. And then the second nominee is Brandon Riley. For those of you who have been following the Jimmy Davis saga over the years, first time I met Brandon was in this room before I was a commissioner, when we had the county created a sort of open forum for community issues, and Jimmy Davis Park was one of them. And Brandon stood up, had never met him before, and he nailed it in terms of the challenges at that time and why the park was important and what it meant to him growing up. He went on to be an All-American basketball guard at South Carolina State, and he attributes Jimmy Davis Park to that career trajectory. And I've got to know Brandon ever since then. He's come to some of the meetings as a member of the public. He's asked good questions, and he again jumped at the chance to join this advisory council. So I think they'd both be assets. They have a great track record with the community, with the park, and I'm hoping we can nominate them to join the council.
Would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I move that we vote in, approve the nominations for two additional members of the Jimmy Davis Park Partnership Advisory Council, Keely Reed and Brandon Riley.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there further discussion? Commissioner?
Mr. Chairman, they sound like very, very good selections for this committee, but should the motion not first address the expansion of that committee?
I'll ask the attorney, but I assume that this is expansion, and that's all what we're voting on.
Unless the clerk can tell me otherwise, I don't believe we've set a number. So under 2-51, if you add members, you're expanding the members of the committee. So So you would be fine to take the motion as presented?
I think the original was my motion as chairman, and we set that committee, and so I didn't put a number on it. So that does not have, this will expand it. This motion will expand it.
So we have no limit on the number of members of
We
this
have
committee?
not set that. Anything comes before this
Could
board.
be 563.
Or
Or
not
four.
5. Any other comments? Hearing none, we'll call for the question and ask for a vote. Vote electronically, please. Voting is complete. Districts 1, 2, 3, and 4 vote aye. Kylie Reed and Brandon Riley are now appointed to the committee. And I thank you very much. Richard, thank you so much for the work that you have done on this. Let's see, item number 11 has been withdrawn. Item 12, and let's see, I'm looking to see, there's no one signed up to speak on 12. Item 12 is approval of the right-of-way permit requested by Bell South AT&T for the work on Parks Mill Drive, Hickory Point Drive, and Cedar Cove Drive. Randy, are you going to do the presentation? Please come. Or you?
Good afternoon. I apologize. I didn't realize that I needed to sign up to.
You don't have to sign up.
Oh, okay. All right. So right-of-way permit. So this is for overlashing of 11,828 feet of aerial fiber optic cable to existing strand on existing pole lines, and to directionally bore 1,478 feet of buried fiber cable and an additional 219 feet of 1-inch conduit for drop fiber, and installing 2 handholds of size 10-inch by 15-inch and 1 handhold the size of 30-inch by 48-inch, all flush with the ground surface. And you should have received a packet that shows what area that is inclusive of.
Right here.
May I say something?
Yes, you may.
I don't know how familiar, you've done many of these over the years, and as we have more competition come into the area and infrastructure for Wi-Fi and fiber optic, they're using each other's lines. But I did speak to the engineer about this project, and when they do their boring under the roads and in our right-of-way, it's the size of a thumb, and it's of minimal disturbance to the land. Many times you don't even know they've been there. And they do grass seed over it, and they put hay to encourage growth for whatever they've disturbed.
Any questions, gentlemen? Commissioner Garrett?
Well, just a more general question. You referenced growing options to share this kind of infrastructure. Could you just speak to when and why sharing makes sense and doesn't make sense?
Well, certainly. So, for example, this particular area the power is being supplied by Tri-County, okay? And then we have 2 other, Georgia Power and one other, I can't think of it right offhand, in the Putnam County area that supplies power. So what they do a lot of times is they piggyback on each other's infrastructure that's there, so that they're not making more of an imprint on the area. So that's when they lash their lines to other power lines or other telecommunication lines, so they're not digging up new ground or, and then it encourages competition when you may have more than one provider using those lines, and it gives our citizens the options of, different companies to go with and competition, basically.
And just to clarify, I'm no
Sure.
expert in this area, so it's not so much literally sharing the exact same infrastructure, but lashing, as you say.
Correct.
Just using the same thoroughfare.
Correct. That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? Commissioner Hersey?
Yeah, just a general question. These are for telecommunications, right? And so,
Yeah, the fiber optic is for like Wi-Fi
Yeah.
and phone lines. That sort of thing.
Is this under the control of the Public Service Commission?
I do not know the answer to that.
I mean, I don't know
So
how they divide up the territories between Tri-County and Georgia Power. And
I even asked, I called this morning, Frazier, our Director of Public Works, as well as the lead engineer for Tri-County this morning. And I said, is there like a map that tells me who's covering what area? And he said there's not. So I'd have to call and bring up an address, and then they would research it.
It's just, my neighborhood, the middle of the neighborhood is Tri-County. Both ends of the neighborhood are Georgia Power. And I don't understand. Apparently, these arrives from something in the 1940s agreement. I just... Anyway, just a reminder, voting for the Public Service Commission is ongoing.
Right now. Commissioner Wooten? Okay. Anyone else? Then, let's see, we need a motion. And do I hear a motion to approve right-of-way permit request by Bell South AT&T for work on Parks Mill Drive, Hickory Point Drive, and Cedar Cove Drive?
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote electronically. Voting is complete. Districts 1, 2, 3, and 4 vote aye. The right-of-way has been approved. And Randy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next,
Chairman, can I call for a short recess for just a minute?
you can.
Okay, thank you.
What, 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
5-minute recess. I don't think we have to vote on that, right?
We don't meet in June or July. Okay, so all of our discussion. Haymore, there's 4 things. I'm saying, hey, let's just do them, regardless of how the Thunder Point business turns out. Any rezonings that have conditions. Going back to come into the same issue again. Or future we should have that list, associated with our zoning map, so that if I'm buying a piece of property, when was it rezoned to whatever it is, and are there any conditions associated with it?
Post 2012. Well, it's still not represented on the map. It's just in the zoning index. Any conditions, is that right?
There's no conditions associated with it. That's just a map that says here's R, and here's ag, and here's...
We documented those.
As far as I know, the zoning maps don't show even when a particular...
Make those maps include that.
At least have it available associated with it. Under the public, says, okay, I'm looking at our parcel, are there any conditions associated with it?